But what I've realized is when a guy goes, the way you go down on one girl is not necessarily how
Yes.
you go down on another girl. You see what I mean?
No, but the areas, if you stimulate, they never move. The reaction will be the same.
Really?
I think that's what men are not keen about. Yes, really.
Oh, but like,
I've
okay.
seen thousands of vaginas, so I know how vaginas react. I'm in a place to say that.
Yes, sir.
Simon says.
Simon says.
Simon says.
Simon says.
It's the Simon Says podcast.
When you can you say that when you understand the anatomy, that means you can, like, for example, if you say that you can understand now, I understand how things work in the vagina. Can you say then that you can satisfy everybody else? Is there a one trick fits all? Because that's one thing. Because I realized that when a girl knows, let's say for example, when a girl knows how to give a blowjob, she knows how to give a blowjob to every guy. True?
Yes, because our penis has nerve endings that don't move. They're all in the same place.
But what I've realized is when a guy goes, the way you go down on one girl is not necessarily how you go down on another girl. You see what I mean?
No, but the areas, if you stimulate, they never move. The reaction will be the same.
Really?
I think that's what men are not keen about. Yes, really.
Oh,
I've seen thousands of vaginas, so I know how vaginas react. I'm in a place to say that.
Yes, sir. But when you say okay, cool then. Exactly. Is it like that whole 2 inches in the up part? What is that?
You see, you said 2 inches, so it's either 2 or 3 inches, depending on the woman's body structure. And that upper part that we're talking about is a very spongy membrane. That is what is called the G-spot. I don't tend to call it a G-spot. It's just a name that was developed by a German guy in the 80s. But it is an arousal part. It is a membrane. It is a very spongy membrane. And if you stimulate it in the right way, it's all about stimulating in the right way. It's like, for example, tickling. There's one person who will tickle you, you laugh. There's another person who will tickle you, you'll be irritated. They've tickled the same place, but the stimulus they've given you is different. So the vagina is no different. Where we fail is we're very procreational. I'll go back to that because we're very procreational in the way we do things. When I penetrate a woman with my penis, I'm expecting her to explode. I'm expecting her to orgasm. Yet I don't even know what my penis is doing inside there. Maybe I've not aroused her so much so that her inner vagina actually starts to press on my penis girth, because it's penis girth that stimulates the wall, not length. There's nothing in length. Yes.
Penis what? You said penis what?
Thing to length. Girth.
You said penis girth? That's a width.
Girth. Yes, your circumference. Your penis circumference.
Okay.
Yes, there you go. That is what stimulates the wall.
Oh, so then now you get that cow. Then when she's orgasming, you get that feel
of penis. If you think length has anything to do with it, one day when you're having sex with your girl, why don't you have a Stedler pen and put it in her vagina? Let's see how that works. Unless you're drawing something at the end of a vagina tunnel, she's not really going to get much stimulus because the Stedler pen has limited girth. But anything with girth will stimulate her because it's the tissue that has to get stimulated for there to be a spasm. That spasm at some point gives her an orgasm.
Oh,
everything is science. There's no guesswork. There's no I know what I'm doing because I'm a man bullshit. This is just how the vagina works.
Then there's this scenario where, because of course now I've also noticed, I've lined up some questions for you. Even I've asked some people in my group. I have a personal Simon Says group.
Right.
Even there's a question even of, like for example, there's someone who has sometimes when a guy goes in and the girl feels constant pain. There's a constant pain that you exude, there's some girls who even experience that in the sense that maybe sex is not for me, or they have a tendency to even don't like sex because they associate sex with pain.
Yes. Now, that's a good question. There are many ways of looking at it. If a girl's penetrated and she feels pain, classic number one is it's good to know what her sexual life has been about if she's open about it. So she may have had prior bad sex experiences. Maybe a guy who basically stroked her the wrong way, or her initial breakage of her hymen was not something she liked. So every time she had sex, she would crunch her vagina rather than push out, crunch, which most women do
Oh.
naturally, but she would overcrunch. She would seize. It's like if somebody's trying to put a finger up your ass, you crunch, don't you? So every time she's having sex, she crunches, but she's crunching because she's anticipating the pain she received before. If she applies that during her sex life for a long time, chances of her enjoying sex with any penis are limited. So the reason why I know this girl very well is because many of the women that I've met in my line of work have undergone that. So what I do is I enforce a stimulus that's positive. You see, people say that sex comes from the brain, which is absolute nonsense. The brain is a storage unit. The brain is fed information. If the vagina receives pain, the brain registers pain. If the vagina receives pleasure stimulus, the brain goes like, that's why women never forget the best guy who ever gave them a great time in the bed. Because the
Because now it's
limbic system will
connected
allow
to that
for
experience.
that memory to happen. So right now, if I tell you I'm going to pinch you, your memory has the memory of pinching is pain. But if you've never been pinched, you'll allow me. And then when I pinch you, be like, whoa, I didn't like that. Now the brain knows that pinching that area, whether it's the hand, whatever part of your body, is pain. So that's the same reaction with sex. So I have to retrain her brain. So that means I have to induce a stimulus where she goes like, oh my God, I love that. You see? Because I've had women from around the world who've come to Kenya because they had a certain vaginal condition where it always triggers pain, even when it's supposed to trigger pleasure. So I have to retrain them, but retraining them is you have to feed the brain. So I have to figure out how to stimulate the membrane so it stops registering pain. I have to override the pain factor so it becomes pleasure. It's a bit of work, but I've done it many a times and it works.
Okay, that's actually because that's interesting because now when you're connecting with pain, when you're I see what you're saying. Whenever you associate something with pain, or even like you see a spider, or even you've never seen a spider, you can't fear it. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. More or less the same thing.
It's like if you go to the zoo and you see an empty cage and somebody tells you enter the cage, it's empty, but why are you fearful? Because your brain already knows that that cage should be having an animal. The animal's not there. You can see all four corners of the cage, but you're still afraid that if the cage is locked, the animal might just appear, which it won't.
True.
But my point is, your brain is fed information, and that registers for the rest of your life. So, and the unfortunate thing about this girl that you mentioned who registers pain whenever a guy penetrates, for example, his penis is, if she does not meet men who are keen to understand her, she'll never enjoy sex. That's the saddest thing about life. Unless she meets a guy who's willing to go down, like, hold on, okay, so because most guys will get pissed off. Let's be and you, we're men. Come on, let's be genuine with the fact that most guys, when a woman reacts negatively to your penis, you react negatively. You're like, whoa, what's wrong with you? Are you not enjoying? Now you start asking her.
That's my
start
ego.
kind of guilt tripping her. Yes, but yet, as men, we should understand that women go through a totally different journey than we do. You know what I'm saying?
How?
You never had to be penetrated by anybody.
Hey, wait, no.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, exactly.
Wait,
let's put it this way. Let's say when you were 15. Let's say when you were 15. No. We'll talk about your anal sex later. Let's say when you were 15. Let's say when you were 15, you had a girl give you a blowjob, and she bit you. She bit you by mistake.
Oh.
Exactly. Now, imagine every time after that a girl would go down on you, even though you know that's not the girl who bit you, you'll always go like, but be gentle. You know what I'm saying? until you trust somebody.
Yeah.
Why? Because you now know that a blowjob can go wrong. So
Yes.
women
That
have
is.
that in the sense that if they have a bad experience, and we are ignorant to see how she's reacting, she may not be reacting to my penis. She's just reacting to the pain that's been enforced for many years. So it's our duty to ask the question. Now, some men will be like, yeah, but what if I just wanted to bang her for the night? Well, for that night to be successful, why don't you take her through a journey where you're actually making her comfortable by showing her you understand where she's coming from? You might be the guy to give her the stimulus that makes her go like, wow, kumbe sex is not bad. But if you don't go down that road, who's going to do that?
It's the Simon Says podcast.